Egyptian.
You know their hits, Manic Monday, Walk Like an Egyptian, Eternal Flame, among others. The 80s supergroup The Bangles sold millions of albums across the globe and became the first all-girl band to have 5 top 10 hits. They were on top of the world until artistic differences and the pressure of fame ultimately led to the end of the group.
The new book, Eternal Flame, the Authorized Biography of the Bangles, shares their story. It was written by rock cultural historian Jennifer Otter Bickerdike. Jennifer joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you folks this morning.
I mean, who can forget, as a child of the 80s, I think we had a homecoming theme, Walk Like an Egyptian, one year. What do you think it was about these women and this band in that era?
I think it was, Ben, somewhat of what you said. It was that time period, that moment. It was their looks, their talent, and really them being trailblazers. We had never seen a 4-person all-female band playing their own instruments, writing their own music. And, you know, one of the things that's fascinating is it's always about their look, their look, their look. Yes, they looked fantastic, but they brought the musical goods, and that was a hugely important part of the Bangles' success. And let's not forget MTV. I could tell that you and Robin were probably avid MTV watchers. Robin,
Jennifer,
I know you,
I'm way too young. I don't even remember what that is.
What are you talking about, sis? No, but, you know, and having those images, I know for me, having the images of these 4 just incredible looking, sounding, and just women, that they were, the men were the objects, not the women. And that to me was incredibly inspiring as a young, very, very, very young girl. Very young girl.
But
Robin,
they weren't the first.
TV.
They weren't the first. I mean, I remember the Go-Go's,
Nope.
Belinda Carlisle. Weren't they the first all-girl band? What's the difference there? Yeah.
Yep, the Go-Go's, who love, 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 love. And I'm actually working on a book right now with Jane Weedland of the Go-Go's, which is going to be spectacular. But the difference is the Go-Go's had a #1 hit record that went all the way to #1. The Bangles had the 5 hit singles.
Oh.
And I know that's a small thing, but it is a significant thing. And I think the biggest notion to keep in mind is it's still a record that has not been beat even 40 years later. There still has not been an all-female band that writes their own music, plays their own instruments, and sings on their own songs to have broken the Bangles record. So it's quite an achievement for sure. And I'm just desperate to get these ladies into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Except for Manic Monday. They didn't write that one. Didn't Prince write that one?
Oh, they did not. They did not write that. And that only went to #2. Prince actually held them off of the #1 spot with Manic Monday. And there's a great story of how they got that. And it's funny because it is one of those things, you know, time kind of erases the truth and the mythology of the song, how they got it. So there's one, Abalonia from Purple Rain says that she's the one that kind of created the deal between Prince and the band. Their A&R guy says he is the one. Susanna says she is the one. So yeah, that was the main thing that really helped them break through, because again, at that moment in time, for those not old enough to remember, Prince was a god. He could do no wrong. And he really anointed them with his greatness, and him giving them that gold star of approval really helped them break through. They were already a hit on the college circuit and kind of in the indie world, but with Manic Monday, it just brought them to a whole nother stratosphere.
And wasn't Manic Monday like about a crush, and there was some secret love interest or something going on?
Are you talking about between Susanna and Prince?
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, Ben, like that was one of my biggest disappointments with this book, because as a kid growing up, you know, Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Prince, I was grilling Susanna, being like, girl, come on now. Like,
spill it.
Something had to have happened with you and Prince.
Right.
Something had to have happened with you and Ralph Macchio, like, you know, all my little teen beat people. But one of the things is that actually nothing ever happened between Susanna and Prince. It was just a business relationship. And that's something that I really, really look up to her. It would have been very easy for her to be like, that's my way in. But it was just an artistic relationship.
So it was Ralph Macchio then. Yeah.
Sadly, oh my gosh. Ben, literally, I live in England, and I was sitting on the beach in England screaming down the phone at Susanna Hoffs, begging. I'm like,
tell me.
Please tell me. Please tell me. I got really hooked on Ralph Macchio, but no Ralph Macchio.
So Jennifer, I mean, they were only together 8 years. What broke them up? Were they jealous that Susanna was getting too much attention? What did it?
Do you know what? It was the communication thing. I mean, it's hard for us to now in the world of like, mental health and self-care. They just did not talk to each other at all. And it became so tense. And I think with Susanna, she never said, I want to be the lead singer, but the way that the rock and roll business works, and a lot of showbiz works, you two know, it's easier to have one focal point than four. And Susanna is stunning looking. She's so talented. And she really came up worshiping cinema. So she was a ballerina. So she naturally knew how to move her body in front of the camera in a way the other women didn't necessarily have mastered. And so I think that led to a lot of resentment, a lot of jealousy. But instead of talking about it, instead of being like, you know what, I'm really bummed that you're getting all this camera time. Just they were angry about it. And you know what's weird, you guys, is like looking back at the way they looked and the way they were styled, they're all gorgeous. They're all stunning women. And so it's shocking the way that they viewed themselves at that time period, if that makes any sense. Like Debbie Peterson's like, Susanna was the little cute one. And I'm looking at Debbie going, you are skinny, tall, and blonde. You are so hot. You know what I mean?
I feel terrible for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a hard knock life, isn't it? So 100%.
It's fascinating. The book is Eternal Flame, the authorized biography of the Bangles. You can get more at Jennifer's site and follow her on Instagram. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Have me back again, please.
For sure. Tell us about your Go-Go's book.
Oh, yes. Take care.